With that down, let's move on to this, shall we? Last night, of course, was the Oscars, the biggest night of the year in the movie industry. Conan O'Brien was hosting the show last night, and I gotta say, I thought he did a really good job.
Me too.
He went out to the limb a little bit, never went too far outside of it. He was always charming. He knew when to be really silly. He knew when not to be. Show kept moving despite the runtime. I think about 35 minutes of the runtime was due to Adrian Brody, but whatever. Overall, I thought it was a really good show. Let me just mention a couple of the things that were highlights for me about the show. Number one, I love that they took a moment to honor Gene Hackman. I mean, he is, again, I admit, in these circles, we all overuse the term one of the greatest of all time. He is absolutely in that club. He is one of the greatest of all time. And it just happened. They took a moment to honor him before the in memoriam. Thought that was really, I'm also glad they did the same with Quincy Jones. And they did that whole get on down the road spit. I also got to say this, man. When I first heard that they were going to open the show with Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo, just doing a little medley from Wicked, I thought, well, this is going to be good. I don't know if it's a good idea. I loved it.
Yep.
And I loved the choice to start with Somewhere Over the Rainbow. Like to connect it to the Wizard of Oz and stuff like that. And then they did that. And like I saw in the audience as she's finishing up what's the name of the song again? Look to the western sky. What's the name?
Defying Gravity?
Defying Gravity. Mm-hmm. When she's finishing up Defying Gravity, then the camera goes in the audience. You literally see people in tears. And then I'm like, wow, I turned to Anne to say something, and Anne's like, woo, she's got tears coming down her eyes. And like, I just thought, you know what? You're celebrating the history of the movies in this bit, and you're celebrating one of the most successful movies of the year in this bit. And while I was a little bit dubious about the choice, I ended up loving that opening. I thought the opening was not the greatest of all time, but it was a wonderful opening. I really dug it a lot. Boy, those two can sing. And I was telling Rob before the show started, for those of you who've watched me for well over a decade, one of my biggest gripes with the Oscars has always been how they present best song. It's stupid the way they've done it historically. It's like the actress in a movie is far more important than a 2-minute song in a movie. But a 2-minute song, an actress gets 30 seconds to give an acceptance speech, and the song gets a full 2.5 minutes so they can come out and perform the whole song for each nominated song. It's ridiculous. Last night, I feel like they cracked the code. They got it right. They just announced the nominees with a short little like 20-second something talking about the song and what the song means each time through. And I'm watching this and I'm like, I've never had a good solution for how to do the best song Oscar, but they did. And I thought they absolutely nailed it with that. And just a number of other things. I thought one of my favorite jokes of the night. Netflix tonight leads all nominees with 18 price increases. I thought that was great. I love that. The little joke or two about the producers losing their houses. I thought that was well timed. Hey guys, we want to take a second to thank a sponsor of today's video, PrizePicks. All right, guys, if you're watching basketball this season and not playing PrizePicks, you are seriously missing out. This is hands down the most fun way to get in on the action. PrizePicks is daily fantasy made easy. You just pick more or less on at least 2 player stats like points, rebounds, or assists for a shot to win up to 1,000 times your cash. It's available in more than 30 states, including California, Texas, and Georgia. This week, I'm looking at the board and I'm going with Luka Doncic for more than 25 points and Jason Tatum for more than 8 rebounds. That's my lineup. Simple, quick, and way more fun to watch the games. And on top of that, PrizePicks hooks you up with awesome promos like Taco Tuesday, where you get player projections at a discount for even bigger value. So download the app today and use the code CAMPEA to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. That's right. Just play $5 and you get $50 automatically. PrizePicks. Run your game. It was just a good night overall. And if you want to run down the scorecard, it was a very balanced out evening. Yeah. There was no, I mean, Anora was the clear winner of the night, but there was really no runaway thing like Lord of the Rings winning 11 Oscars. Here's the scorecard. Anora, of course, was the winner of the evening. It took home 5. But then there's a big group. Brutalist won 3. Dune Part 2 won 2, as did Emilia Perez and Wicked. And then right down the list, Conclave won 1, Flow, I'm Still Here, No Other Land, A Real Pain, and The Subs. It's talking about the major films. A very kind of even thing right down the board. Let's just go over and take a quick look at who the winners were. So obviously, Best Picture, I did predict this. Anora won Best Picture. It kind of wasn't in doubt. By the time you got to the category, when they're winning all the other major awards other than Best Lead Actor, it kind of became clear they were going to win. And so Nora won that. Sean Baker ties the all-time Oscar record for winning 4 Oscars for one film. Of course, he won director, writer, editor, and as a producer for Best Picture. So Sean Baker wins Best Director. Leading role, the one thing I got wrong about the Oscars was Adrian Brody winning. And I said, because when we did our predictions on Friday, I said, guys, this morning I woke up and said, I'm going to name Adrian Brody as my pick. And at the last second, I switched to Ralph Fiennes. And I felt, even when they were about to read the name, I really thought they were going to say Ralph Fiennes. But Adrian Brody wins the Oscar, his second Best Lead Actor win. And then he set he did, no joking aside, he set the all-time record for the longest acceptance speech. I'm a big Adrian Brody fan, but I was very disappointed in that because he's basically saying I'm more important than everybody else. So while everybody else has to stick to the rules, I don't. I was disappointed in that, but whatever. He was up there on stage and very emotional. Then we go actress in a leading role. I got it right again on this one. Mikey Madison wins. And listen, I would have had no problem if Demi Moore won. Her performance was outstanding.
Yeah. I was hoping she was going to get it, but I was like, but if Mikey gets it, good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just thought by a hair she deserved it a little bit more. That Mikey Madison deserved it a little bit more. And so she won, of course. And I was telling the guys beforehand, Anora, of course, is the name of my wife. Aura is her maiden name. So her name is Anora. So she was cheering for Anora all night. And so she was very happy when Mikey won. Best Supporting Actor. This was one of the 2 locks of the evening. Kieran Culkin, of course, wins Best Supporting Actor. We all knew that was going to happen. He also had the best acceptance speech of the night, telling the story about his wife.
That's funny.
That was funny. Best Supporting Actress was also the other lock that we knew. So Zoe Saldana won, also a very nice acceptance speech. Best Writing Adapted Screenplay. Sean Baker won for Anora, which we called, and Conclave won for Best adapted, which we also called. So that was great to see. One of the ones that Sean Baker won. Best Animated Feature. This is the other one I'd missed. I knew Flow was a strong contender, and it's great. I really thought Wild Robot was going to win. I would have put $5 on it, but it did not. Flow won, and good for them. Ball is in your court, Estonia. And then won't go through all the other ones. But Best Visual Effects went to Dune.
Yeah.
I was excited to see that. Sound was the one that I knew Dune was going to win.
Yes,
like all night,
absolutely.
I just knew sound. Dune was going to win.
Well, she's good at barking.
Of course, my dog's name is Dune.
And by the way, I should point out that it was the first Oscar win for Dr. Doom's country, Latveria.
Oh, yeah.
So close.
So
One of
close.
those.
I'm surprised he didn't come out and accept it himself.
It's true.
And by the way, Robert Downey Jr., like talking about Kieran Culkin, you're the only flaw with the thing is you trying to be as charming as me.
Right.
Saying
I like
that.
that.
I thought that was
Great.
very, very clever. And having Kieran Culkin accept the award and basically turn Robert Downey Jr. like, you're my hero. So like, getting this from you is insane.
I thought it was cool that he acknowledged his Succession co-star.
Yeah.
Yes.
That was really nice.
I loved
Yeah.
that.
You know what's funny about what's Strong's first name again?
Jeremy.
Is Jeremy? I don't know why,
He
but
looks sad all night.
I started watching some clips of The Gentleman again because Jeremy Strong, of course, is in that.
He's so good.
He's so good in that movie.
so good when they put it.
When they put him in the freezer, in that whole scene.
I don't want to ruin that scene.
Guys,
So-
too many of you have not watched Matthew McConaughey's The Gentleman.
He's
Guy Ritchie.
so good.
It's so good. It's anyway. So they did. I thought that was really clever and cute. And yeah, man, overall, I gotta say, I was really happy with the awards last night.
great.
A couple of big surprises. I thought the show ran, despite the fact that it again went long, I thought it ran very smoothly. So yeah, I liked it. Chris, to you, what were some of the big standout moments? Was there any of the particular awards that really stood out to you? What was your take on the Oscars last night?
The halftime joke, chef's kiss.
Oh my God. Did you catch that one?
That joke.
We're now halfway through, which means Kendrick Lamar is about to come out and accuse Drake of being a pedophile.
That was so ballsy.
I liked his little bit too. Like, if you're still enjoying this show, you probably have Stockholm syndrome.
Yeah. I thought Conan just did such a fun job. I thought he was so wonderful. I'm trying to think of some of the standout moments. Oh my gosh, that win for the Wicked costume designer
Oh, yes.
was such
Yeah.
a wonderful
Taswell.
speech.
Yep.
Yes.
By
Is
the
he
way-
done designing Hollywood?
Yeah, he's been on Designing Hollywood.
Several
twice.
of the nominees have been on
All
Designing
of
Hollywood.
I mean, it was, and recently, like
Yeah.
Nosferatu. I mean, it was. I
Yeah.
loved it. It was fantastic.
Man,
I kept
that was
making
great.
comments about that, going, and this person was on Designing Hollywood.
I loved that he won. It was crazy that he's the first Black man to win that award too. So that was such a wonderful moment, and that was such a wonderful speech. Kieran Culkin's speech was so fun and funny.
His
it was
wife
just,
was when the cameras would go to
she
her
was
face.
so great.
You could
Just-
tell she did
ooh.
not know what his
Yeah.
acceptance speech was going to be. Every time, like I thought that was so
It
precious.
was
was
really,
great.
really
I
lovely.
like when he said, like, so thanks for not believing in me.
Yeah, love of my life.
He had little faith.
Yeah, it was so wonderful. I loved all of that stuff. I thought Adrian Brody, I feel like the tail end of his speech was really lovely. It just, we were talking about this before the show started. It was unfortunate that he couldn't like get those thoughts in order because it is
He had a lot of
really-
pauses.
Yeah, and it is a very important thing I think to say at the end there of, you know, this is the second time I've played somebody who's survived the Holocaust. And yet we are still dealing with anti-Semitism. Like I feel like this is something that should be addressed and makes sense in that
Yeah.
kind of format too. Loved Andrew Garfield and Goldie Hawn. I thought they were just so sweet. I
Okay.
thought they were so charming.
Okay, so my wife Anne and one of her besties, Jay Lynn, they quiver at the name Andrew Garfield.
Wow.
So like when they showed right before the commercial break, up next, Andrew Garfield and Goldie Hawn, and it's like, stop it, like audibly out loud, stop it. And then he comes out and she sees, oh, he's got the glass. Don't put on the glasses.
He's gonna put the
Don't-
glasses
Oh
on.
my God. And she put and her and Jay Lynn are just like, he put on the glasses.
Oh yeah, the internet's dubbed them his quote sexy or slutty little glasses. So you know.
Yeah,
I get it.
they were
I
kind of
understand
losing their
it.
crap for Andrew Garfield.
Oh, also, Adrian Brody throwing his gum to his partner, I thought was just so funny and weird.
Harvey Weinstein's ex-wife.
What?
Yeah, that's
Yes.
what I said too. I'm like,
That's
wait,
who he's dating.
that's
I
who
went
he's dating.
full Scooby-Doo, Rob. Hold on. Whoa.
Yes. Look, and you realize
I hope her
she
name
is
is Jane.
smoking. She's always been smoking hot.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, why would he do that to her? Like, it shows guys are just dumb.
Well, again, we were talking about
I mean,
that.
I don't
like
mean Adrian Brody. I mean,
Oh, no,
mean-
I know
he
what you mean,
means-
too.
the tossing
God,
the
yeah.
gum thing. I remember, like, some people gave him a hard time about it. Like, you know what? I do not give him a pass for how long he spoke, but I'll give him a pass for the gum thing because, you literally, you're just caught in the moment, and
Yeah.
you're like, oh, and then he's like, I just realized I had gum in my mouth going up to accept an Oscar, and he said I just didn't think, so I just but first I just tossed it out and then gave it
That
to his
killed me.
date. I thought that was funny.
she's a fashion designer.
Oh, wow.
Good for
I'll have
her.
to go check out her stuff.
Rob, what about you? What were some of the highlight moments? Were there any of the particular awards that were highlights?
I'm not gonna lie. I didn't have seeing Lisa from Blackpink singing James Bond theme songs
Oh,
on my
as soon as that came
2025
up-
bingo card.
I was so
As
excited
soon as that
for
came
you.
up, Anne went, well, Rob is happy
Oh,
somewhere right
yeah.
now.
I mean, she's been all over the place. She did Hot Ones last week. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, you know, my love of her. She's the rapper, the Thai girl in the band, and she, by the way, she's very articulate and funny. She's so cute. I didn't get a sense of her personality until the last 6 months. But not only that, I have to say, as a Bond fan, Doja Cat just killed doing Shirley Bassey's Diamonds Are Forever.
Yeah.
She was awesome. What are you making a face at that?
I didn't like it.
Come on.
Oh, really?
I didn't
don't
like it
like
either.
it.
It felt like it was like flat, or her ear, like her monitor was out or something.
Yeah.
Oh, I disagree.
There was
I
something
really
going
liked
on where it just was coming up flat.
Look,
But by the way, that brings up a bigger issue, though, about the fact that I should have mentioned earlier. With the Broccoli's now selling off well, they didn't sell it up, but they gave up creative control of Bond. Considering what an institution Bond is in Hollywood, I thought it was really nice that they did that tribute to Bond and to the Broccoli's
And
for
then
their stewardship. of it.
Halle Berry they showed her coming out of the
Yeah.
water, die another
Yeah.
day. And I will say this. I mean, It did kind of feel like an in memoriam segment. But I would have liked to have seen, this is just me, there's 4 surviving Bonds.
Yeah.
There's Lazenby, there's Pierce Brosnan, there's, why am I drawing a blank on his
Daniel
name?
Craig.
Daniel Craig, but no, license, living
Timothy
daylight,
Dalton.
Timothy Dalton. I'm thinking Hot Fuzz, Timothy Dalton. They could have brought them out too.
That would have
Yeah,
been great.
I would-
Yeah.
But it was still, I liked the fact
about
that I know they had to appeal to the younger audience, but it still was
Also
pretty
could have been
cool.
a matter of maybe 1 or 2 weren't available.
Yeah,
Or,
yeah.
So
And, I
that-
mean, Lazenby's pretty old now.
yes, I was
but-
going to say.
But it's still, it was cool. I mean, again, I didn't expect that. That was for me. It was just as a Bond lover. I thought, okay, cool.
What did you think of? Okay, so let's go down the thing here. Obviously, again, couple of wins for Dune, couple of wins for Wicked. Some of the best films of the year did get some recognition. But Anora is the winner of the night. It wins Best Director,
Oh,
Best
yeah.
Screenplay, Best Editing, and ultimately a Best Lead Actress and Best Picture. How are we feeling about Anora taking home the top prize this year?
So well deserved.
Not,
agree,
not as good as the director is feeling with 4 Oscars on his mantle.
Lord, the dude wins 4 for one movie.
You know, the thing about Sean Baker is he's truly an indie filmmaker.
Yeah.
Yes, he is.
And I mean, his film Tangerine, which he shot on iPhones, and then the Florida Project, and coming to Anora. I mean, the fact I love that somebody won who directs and edits. I love.
By the way, what do you think about his when he won Best Editor? I think there were some people who didn't understand he also directed the film.
Yeah.
Because he wins Best Editor and he goes up and goes, "Man, I'm so glad for this recognition because I saved this movie."
Yeah.
I
It was
laughed
so
my ass
funny.
off.
That was hilarious. But he really embodies the thing about Anora is what a studio movie might have made in 1982. It would have been a comedy, and studios just would never make that movie today.
Yeah.
And that movie is a crowd pleaser. It is an indie movie that, it deals with sex work, but it is a fun time at the movies. And that's why I think it worked, because of just how entertaining it was. Look, I loved Moonlight. I thought Moonlight was a great movie. Also very independent, but it's not like it was the feel-good movie of the summer.
Well, no.
And this was an indie film that could have been a crowd-pleasing studio movie too. And I think that's why it worked.
$6 million film. Made the movie for $6
Yeah.
million. And it's Best Picture at the Academy Awards.
Yeah.
And not a studio movie.
Yeah, and not a studio movie. And you know what? It reminded me a lot of like when the Daniels were kind of like cleaning up for Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Yes.
And it's going to be interesting now to see the doors open, because this is really this was his film. I mean, he wrote it, he
And
directed
Neon.
it, he
Yeah.
edited it.
The
Like
Neon, the distributors.
Yeah.
I mean, between Neon and A24, which they did Everything Everywhere All at Once. I mean,
Yeah.
these are 2 powerhouse companies that are winning the Palme d'Or, winning Academy Awards, winning Best Picture.
Well, and it feels like, too, we were talking about this with the group we were watching it last night, too, is with Anora, with Everything Everywhere All at Once, it feels like these were just films that it was, I really want to make this. I
Yes.
just really want to do this. And a lot of times during award season, it does feel like that 30 Rock joke of hard to watch season, where it's a whole bunch of movies where you go, this was made to try to win awards. And which feels like the death of art when it's, I'm trying to do this for critical acclaim. I'm trying to do this for mass appeal. I'm trying to do this for this, that, or the other. When you just make something, especially with your own dollar, that's why I'm always going to respect, what filmmakers have done. Might not always like their movies when they're indie movies, but I'm always going to respect people who put their own money in, like Coppola, right? It's really cool to see stuff like this, though, just really just take off and be loved and get those kinds of awards and achievements, because it's just somebody who really blasted off with what they wanted to do, not for anyone else.
Such a good movie, too. Just like, because not only was like Anora in many ways very fun,
Yeah.
but it was an incredibly deep character study.
Yes.
And like on human condition and stuff like that. By the way, you're mentioning like good for Nia. So I ran down the scorecard again, just to remind everybody here what the scorecard was for the film. So like Anora takes 5, Brutalist 3, Dune, Emilio Perez and Wicked each take 2. Well, by distributor, Sony Pictures Classic, Sideshow, and Searchlight and Focus Features each won 1. Warner Brothers, Netflix, and Universal Pictures each won 2 Oscars last night. The top 2, A24 won 3, and Neon won 5.
There you go.
Neon and A24 were the top distributors for collecting Oscars last night, which I thought was really fun to see.
Yeah, I mean, and it shows. Look, there are people I know people that are just fans of A24.
Yeah.
They have A24 swag. I mean, A24 is a purveyor of a certain kind of thing, which, by the way, I like. And I especially like how they do support physical media with incredible releases. So you go, A24. By the way, I'm a member. Just want to say that I'm a
Card carrying member.
right there. There's my A24.
Whoa.
It's a little dirty, but I am.
Oh, there you go.
All right, guys, question is for you. What did you think about the Oscars last night? I thought it was a really solid show. I enjoyed it a great deal. How did you feel about it? Were there any of the categories that you were particularly angry at that you didn't think the right person won? Was there a favorite moment of the show for you guys? Whatever you guys think, jump down to the comment section below and leave your thoughts there. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, we have a daily podcast called the John Campea Show podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting app of choice. Go and subscribe to it today so it'll be there when you need it.